This is the Earthbound Parenting podcast, where we discuss all things pregnancy, birth, postpartum, partnership, parenting, and how to take radical responsibility in each one. Being earthbound is a wild adventure, so allow me to be your guide. I'm Chaya Shual, your hostess, traditionally trained birth guardian and birth educator. And today I just wanted to get into why I named this thing Earthbound Parenting. Earthbound is multi-layered. The nerd confession layer is that my husband and I are lifelong gamers, especially old RPGs, and there's a particular, not going to name it, company that has a lot of these types of games that have been a really important part of mine and his childhood. And Earthbound is a name that came from that inspiration of, basically it invokes a spirit of adventure in him, but in me as well. And so Earthbound just felt like a great starting point, with that being one of the layers, one of the reasons why. But the most important part of the name Earthbound is that it sounds similar to Earthside, which is kind of like a birth worker term for a baby that has been born, basically. It's what people will use often when they're talking about, a baby that's been born, they've come Earthside, that sort of thing. And I really love the picture that it paints, because prior to being born, there are definitely babies in the womb that are existing, and they're alive and they're moving and they have personalities and preferences and all these different things going on even when they're in the womb. But there is still an aspect to their existence that's sort of partially untethered, partially in the stars, kind of. They have this ability to come and go spiritually, it almost feels like. So when they come Earthside, it's meaningful. It's something more than just simply they're born. It's that they've finally decided to land, essentially. Similarly, our souls are bound, tethered to the physical realm. And so in the same spirit, Earthbound made me think of how we're tethered to the physical realm. We're tethered here. We're bound to our bodies in a big way. We're bound to this earth, this physical world that we can behold and participate in and all of that. We're sort of stuck here until our souls depart from our bodies. So in that way, we are earthbound. Another way that I've looked at this name is that our souls are also on a journey. Our souls have a path, a purpose here. We have a specific reason that we are brought to this earth for the time that we have. And so it's like we're bound for earth. Off we go. We're earthbound, right? So it just has many layers that were really profound. The nerd part of that was kind of just a funny thing that happened when we were trying to come up with this name, but these more spiritual, more deep plays on the language is what really sort of stirred me when we were trying to determine the name of this organization, of this calling. So why parenting? A lot of people use when they are in the field of birth, of pregnancy, birth, postpartum, that sort of thing. People often use the word birth. They use that as an umbrella term for the perinatal time. Perinatal meaning it's around the natal period, which is birth. So the perinatal period, often people are, again, using words in the names that they give. They're using, such and such midwifery or such and such doula, blah, de blah, birth, right? There are so many great names. They're really beautiful, what people come up with. But birth just, I don't know, felt a little too... This may step on some toes. It's been a little bit co-opted by people that are very superficial in the way that they address birth. Midwifery, the name midwifery, the term midwifery, doesn't even mean what it used to mean anymore in the modern world. It's definitely been co-opted by the medical establishment, by some would even call them the medical cartel, the medical mafia. There are lots of the medical cult. And yeah, that's going to step on a lot of toes. And I know that not all medical people are cultish or mafia gangsters and things like that. But there is this big problem in the powers that be, where they take a term that has so many layers to it, so many deep meaning. It's ancient. It's an ancient practice. It's an ancient tradition. It's a title that has been bestowed upon people throughout every generation with reverence, maybe, or great responsibility. And these powers that be take that and they make it into something that is so superficial and really kind of a husk of what it once was. And I don't mean to really get into that conversation too much. I know I'm kind of getting carried away a little bit. I can't help it. I could rant about that stuff forever. But all of this to say, birth has kind of become that way. It's when people refer to birth, when they're talking about birth and they're talking about birth services and things, it's become so superficial and so transactional that I didn't necessarily want to leave it there. I didn't want Earthbound, this term that has so much meaning wrapped up into it. I didn't want it to be tied to this sort of husk of something. I wanted it to provoke thoughts and things. So we went with parenting, which could be argued for being still a superficial term and things. It is hard to sort of encompass what we're trying to encompass here, but parenting is more than just the event of birth. It's more than just pregnancy and early postpartum. Earthbound parenting is the grand trajectory of the family, which is what birth is, in my opinion. Birth is transcendent and transformative and all of that stuff, but it is also the launching pad of every family, everywhere, ever. Basically, the way that you birth will, in some way or another, dictate how you parent. And so Earthbound parenting is meant to encompass that larger picture. And I wanted people who were approaching us to have that larger picture in mind already. I wanted them to understand, to see that this had to do with pregnancy, to see that this has to do with birth and the postpartum, but I wanted them to have that picture in mind, that this is about the parenting. This is about the kind of people they wanted to be in that parent role. And so that's why parenting, instead of just Earthbound birth or Earthbound something else, just something else. So just to sort of sum up that, I wanted Earthbound parenting to go beyond. I wanted it to create opportunities for men and women to truly prepare for the entire adventure of parenthood, starting at the very beginning of parenthood. Ultimately, this is about who a woman becomes when she's blessed with pregnancy, who a man becomes when he's blessed with a family, even before birth. What kind of individuals, and therefore parents, they develop into is the Earthbound parenting mission, essentially. So that's why Earthbound parenting. And I don't think that I've shared this anywhere before. I had when we launched the new brand into Earthbound parenting a while ago, I did a sort of Instagram post about it, and I was really happy with it, but I never really shared my thoughts elsewhere about the Earthbound parenting name. And I felt like this would be a really good kickoff in explaining why Earthbound parenting, why the name, what it means, and what I hope to convey to people even before they actually engage with much of the content. Really quick, I want to make sure to mention that my next Village Birthcraft workshop cohort is going live in April. It's coming up, so make sure to sign up and join if that's something that's calling to you. This is about folk birth knowledge. This workshop is for restoring community birth skills to kin and common folk. It's about bringing this knowledge back to the common people and getting it out from behind the paywalls and the expensive trainings, because this was once knowledge that belonged to everybody, and that's the mission. This is now, in case you've heard of this before, this is now a pre-recorded training with 2 live Q&A and review sessions that we do together, and it's over the course of 4 weeks. In this workshop, you learn the nature of birth at its beginning, end, and beyond, how to act when normal is looking different or things are shifting into crisis. It's about folk-wise ways to heal and support the mother-baby dyad during and after birth, and it's also about learning your unalienable rights to act, attend, and freely birth. This is the Village Birthcraft Workshop, so if you'd like to sign up, you'd like to join, you need to become a private member of the Earthbound clan on my website, and I can't wait to see you in there. So there you have it. Now I've explained. Now hopefully it makes sense. I really hope that it was thought-provoking for anybody listening, because yeah, I mean, I love naming things and I love giving things a lot of meaning, or finding the meaning behind names and things like that. So if there's any other nerds out there, name nerds out there, I hope you enjoyed diving into this with me. This is a brief one. We'll get into more stuff later in this channel and things. And I did say channel because if you've been listening to the podcast, we are now audio and visual. And if you're watching this, this doesn't make sense. Earthbound Parenting Podcast has been a podcast for a couple of years, probably even beyond. It's had its different transformations and things, but we have been Earthbound Parenting for over a year now, and it's been strictly audio. And now we're doing the whole audio and visual thing. So for those of you that are just listening, you can find the links to my channels in the description. For those of you that are just signing in for the first time, welcome. I have a lot of great guests lined up for all of you, so make sure to subscribe, to like, and otherwise engage in all of the things to help others join the Earthbound clan. So stay tuned. I have some pretty exciting people that are going to be on the podcast, experts and things. Make sure to stick around. Feel free to share your input in the comments below and try to keep things civilized as always. Remember that we can only do our best with the tools that we have. And that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye for now. If what I'm sharing here resonates, I want you to know there's a hidden place where this conversation continues. The Secret Series is a private, audio-only experience I designed to walk you through the exact preparation most women are missing. In each episode, I address a real problem families face and link you directly to the resources that solve it. No more having to hunt or piece things together on your own. This is the best place to begin if you're serious about radical responsibility in the context of birth and early parenthood. And if you already know you want to prepare well, this is the series that will help you understand what you actually need next. The Secret Series is free, but it's not public. It's only available through my website when you subscribe. Find the link in the show notes below, and I hope to see you in there. Intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing in this video is medical or legal advice. By engaging with this content, you agree to take full responsibility for your own experiences and decisions as a result. Everything on this channel is property of Prudence Ministries, a private healing association, unless otherwise stated. Blessed is Adonai, divine sovereign, who brought us to this place and this time for this purpose.